Hello, friends and bees, and friends who are also bees, and welcome to this week's Destiny 2 stream. This week, surprising Tuesday stream. Yeah, we're starting with Beyond Light. I probably should have updated my starting soon screen, but that would have required me to be responsible, which clearly I can't do. I feel like I should get do a warlock themed one as well, given that my main is a warlock. But anyway, hello friends. We are here. We're going to be streaming Beyond Light. I keep accidentally rolling over my headphone cable and then scaring myself, so I'm going to hopefully fix that. Before I do anything else, I'm just going to super duper quickly make sure that my bot is working, because I'm slightly nervous that it may be offline. No, there we go. Brilliant. Should we swap over to the gameplay? I know it's really quiet. I'm going to turn it up in a second. I just want to look at my new background. Yes, I agree. That's fine. I'm going to have stuff there eventually. I just ordered it today. And I think I'm going to get a ring light for my webcam as well, because it's quite, as you can see, it's quite dark on my face. So I'm afraid now we're just going to sit here for a while and wait for it to load in, but I'm just excited to get started. I was really not sure whether I should stream today or not, because I'm in quite a bit of pain, but I think I'm going to go for about 2.5 to 3 hours depending on how I feel today, and then we'll see how it goes later down the line. I realise with all of my new VODs when I got face cam, so it used to be that my first monitor was in front of me and then my second monitor was over to my left, but that's changed around now. My second monitor is to my right and like slightly higher up, it's like slightly elevated. So in a bunch of these streams I'm going to be like looking off camera to the right, and it's because like that's where my chat and stuff is. Head to Rahul to claim your Beyond Light rewards. The No Time to Explain will be available after campaign from the Exo Stranger. So I've got tea. I may go make myself some more. I'm desperately hoping this will help me resolve my pain issues without resorting to painkillers that I've already taken a lot of, but we'll see. Right, really important question. No, I don't want to quit. I want to open my settings. And I'll wait for these guys to load in. Also, I'm glad that my Titan and my Hunter have been dragged up to 1050. I haven't played on either of them yet. I probably won't until the Red War comes back, so I can at least get them through the first 3 campaigns. I was gonna try and I want to see what they look like. Come on. Oh, fine. Whatever. We're loading in as Warlock. In about 10 minutes, I'm going to need desperately to piss.
Humanity has endured a devastating blow. Vanguard scouts have confirmed that Io, Mars, Titan, and Mercury have disappeared. We don't know why. We have lost contact with Deputy Commander Sloan and Jensen Scribe Ashley. We are deploying Guardians to all corners of the system to find answers. And with those answers, we will form a plan. In the meantime, we ask that all lightless civilians remain within the safety of the city walls, under the protection of the Traveler. Do not lose hope. Humanity has survived many hardships.
There she is, my girl.
We have done so through the strength of our community, through steadfast commitment to one another. Stay strong. Be brave. The Traveler protects us, and we will protect you. The Guardians will come through. They always do.
a lot of pressure. This is my first time ever playing a Destiny expansion on launch, so I haven't seen any of this before. I watched the ending event yesterday. I wound up watching it on a friend's stream because I got kicked out literally as it went into the cutscene. I managed to load back in and watch the cutscene, but I didn't get that, like, I didn't quite get that, you know, the whole experience, as it were. I should have turned my audio back up yesterday, but I just completely forgot. I want to see what the new map looks like. Shik's King, let me in. I wouldn't be surprised if the server's having issues. I know for a fact that, oh, it's about to crash. My net has been having issues, or possibly my computer. I was in FF14 earlier today, and I still haven't quite worked out whether my net was having issues, or whether my computer was, or whether the ISP was, or whether the server was, or all of the above, because really worried it may have crashed. Because I was having really bad lag, but my computer was trying to download an update in the background without my permission, and also I had YouTube Music open. The bane of my life. But I paused one and closed the other and it seemed to fix, but then a lot of people were saying they're having lag, so maybe it was the servers or ISP, who knows. I'm really quite nervous that we've crashed. I'm also extremely warm. Maybe I should go back to the starting soon screen while I wait to see if this has crashed. Alt tab. Destiny, do you live? Do I have to reopen you? And I see now I've got Bungie error handler, which makes me think it has crashed. Right. Yeah, there it goes. Back in a mo. Okay, there we go. Hey, hey. You really do love to see it, folks. It is honestly just like playing FF14 on launch day, where the whole time you're like, you working? The good news is that my captions are working and I remember to run them, so there's always that. God. Not to like overly complain or anything, but boy howdy, am I in pain. Sit here and load in for a bit. Something I'm really intrigued to see with this game is if I can stream being Destiny and on Discord at the same time, because I have previously had problems with that, so I'll be intrigued to see whether or not it works. Phew, not crashed. Nice. Claim your loot. Ghost shells can now be upgraded. Okay. Select. I'd love to, but it's not loaded in yet. Ooh. Upgraded to masterwork tier. Okay. Right. Ghost mods, that's sick. Please don't look at my layout, it's very strange. Rather annoyingly, I also ate my non-exotic helmet, which means that I can't swap back to that. Gotta say, I was looking at my camera, not a fan of that's done to my face. I'm sure I'll get used to it, like how it took me ages, but then it's my phone buzzing me to tell me that I'm live. I got used to it. I'll get used to it eventually, I think. It just looks slightly weird for me now, but hey, there we go. Nice. Gonna eat that one. I kind of, do I want to swap to that? I kind of really like the tracker for, anyway, let's see. Hang on, bear with me, there we go. So, I'll put 3 in and see how we're doing. So, XP gain. I'll do that. I'll put that on for now. We've got caches. This is good, so you can equip based on what they look like, I guess. Okay. Rather than because they have like specific items. Okay. Sad that legacy seals can no longer be owned, but whatever. Cool. Let's just like grab all of these while I've got it. I feel like I've done some of these, but whatever. Okay, so I'm just looking, so it's lifetime, it's current seasonal, a bunch of I like this, this is nice. I'm actually going to try and do Crucible this time around. I've not done any Trials of Osiris, I'm scared of it. Europa, Dreaming City, Tangled Shore, EDZ. Okay, makes sense. Okay, so that's that used to be. That's what the ones used to be. Exotic catalysts. I've not got any of these. I'll unlock these eventually. I'm just exploring. Trackers, okay. Okay. Right. There's that. Okay. I guess these are all ones I can buy unless quest's not available anymore. Ooh. God, I love this sword. It looks so cool. I'm not going to look at the lore yet. Being good. Okie dokie. Ripped all the badges I didn't get, but I'm different. Just want to see how this is looking. Right. Well, there go all of my quests. I guess I have to pick them back up again. It's fine, but also annoying. I'll look at the season. Do have the season pass, which is nice. There we go. I'm going to turn, before I do anything else, the music back up. Turn that back up, turn that down. There we go. What am I doing? Season pass, that's what I'm doing. Okay. It's a nice finisher. Eververse and Grimm's a good way of putting it. Armors. Childhood investments. So cool. I love the way the Eververse engrams look as well. That's very me. Cool. Right. Should we do this then? Right, cool. Okay. Oh, man. City, Nessus, it's where Beyond Light is. Crucible. Rip to my infamy rank. Rip to my Crucible rank as well. I'm not actually going to travel to any of these places, I just want to see. Oops, wrong button hit. To aim. It was a trophy hunt. One of the Baron Spider's precious associates, title he bestowed on those who loyal to his cause, had vanished. Spider suspected treachery. He demanded Crow take to the field and come back with an answer. Something Spider could use to encourage loyalty, he said. Something he could mount on his wall. The trial ended at a cryptolith, which jutted crudely from the dirt boy's ult. The whispers of Shiva Arath had caught another one of Spider's toadies, just like the last one and the pair before that. But as Spider said he wasn't interested in mights and maybes. He demanded proof. Crow knelt in the shadow of the cryptolith, the lure already in his hands. There were recent Lixney tracks in the fine descents, a dozen or so individuals. Nothing he couldn't handle. He pulled a vial of condensed ether from his belt and slotted it into the lure. The concoction bubbled as it mixed with the sulfire inside the reservoir. Moisture beaded on the lure's thin metal casing. Sorry. He drove the mount into a crack in the ground, adjusted the output and watched as the thick pheromone mist rolled away from the lure. He waved Glint over and the pair headed to a rocky vantage point. He tinkered with the compression on his modified shotgun, placed it across his lap and prepared himself for the worst part, listening to the cryptolith broadcast its malignant sermon. He felt the presence of the spire itch on his skin. Crow tried not to stare at the grotesque totem as it twittered and hummed, but he felt profoundly uncomfortable when its pulsing light was out of his sight. It was as if he was being hunted. Crow adjusted his weapon sights again as the silent vigil continued. He felt the stress begin to wear on him. Waves of throbbing pressure emanated from the tower. His eyes ached. He concentrated on his breathing. Glint flew to a nearby boulder to scan an interesting patch of lichen, and Crow closed his eyes, trying to quell the nausea building inside his head. Hushed whispers surrounded him. He felt as though something reached down and pressed his chest just above his heart. The scent of perfume, soft and familiar. Crow, Glint said. Crow's eyes snapped open. I see them. A group of Elixir Wrathborn were approaching the lure. One amongst them wore the telltale quills of the House of Spider. The movements were uncoordinated, but had the troubling strength granted by subservience to Shiva Arath. They're already gone, Crow said bitterly. The Wrathborn came on Cryptolith. They were distraught, ranting. Their fury was rising. They lifted their voices in harsh clicking speech and tore at the ground around the lair as their otherworldly power. One passed Crow's perch and he could see it, cloudy eyes, slavering jaws, an aura of wrath shimmering around it like a heated gaze. It charged towards the rest and its rhythmic howls of rage joined theirs. They're chanting, Glint whispered, his curiosity forcing him to peek back at the growing horde. The syntax is garbled, but I could translate. Don't, Crow said. Please. He looked down the sights of his weapon and started his work. That is an incredibly pretty gun. Just eat that shotgun real quick. I'm gonna swap back to what I've been running recently for now, at least. My auto rifle, and I want my Wither Horde. Right, let's get down to earth. Okay. Crest Archive, cool. Tests there, does there. Gunsmith gone. Hey? I'm so grumpy that the Black Armory was removed because there was so much Black Armory stuff I forgot to do. But that's okay. You can do it. I haven't actually looked at the it's way words are so difficult. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be like brain dead throughout because of pain, which is really annoying. I had a class earlier and I felt really bad because it felt like the contributions I made were useless, but it was because I was having such a bad flare-up and I'd taken painkillers and I was just like, there's nothing I can do, I'm just gonna have to sit here and suffer. And I was like, I'm sorry if the words I say aren't making sense, but it's just because I'm in pain. Okay. I know where triumphs are, don't you worry. Whoops. No, I don't want to change character. I want to open settings and re-enable my HUD because I absolutely forgot that I'd disabled it. Enjoying looking around. Right. Okay, so you can redo that. Done all of those. Season quests are done. Ritual playlists, I like that phrase. Exotics. I'll pick these up just because I may as well, you know? I'll give it a moment to load. Oops. Right. This is fine. I have done all of these, so I don't have to worry about that. Annoyingly. The rest of my quests are gone, but that's okay.
Yes. Thank you.
This is what I always do on reset day. Go look at Tess and see what she has for bright dust. Do you like that one? No. Okay.
Thanks for shopping Eververse, Guardian.
You're welcome. I'm gonna go talk to Zavala, see what he has to say. Oh, it definitely does look,
I hear you are making progress, Guardian. I know we can depend on you.
all I've done so far is load in, but thanks, Zavala. What have you got for me? Okay. Okay. Okay.
What news?
Nothing, I'm just looking to see what there is. I'm not gonna... talk to Shax just yet. Okay. Exotic. Okay. So this is how you can acquire exotics that you don't yet have. It's like, yeah, you've got literally none of these, bitch. Wish they hadn't got rid of these old quests. I would have liked to have been able to, like, earn these in my own time, you know? Oh wow. So I'm like looking around because I'm intrigued. There's Banshee. Ow. Well, now I obviously can design the catalyst for the exotic. Cool. Just in pain. Banshee waves you over. Got an interesting request for you here, he says. Got the prospects for a weapon, but it's particularly dependent on how you gather the combat data. You can tackle this when you're away. Helps evolve with strikes, do Crucible match the Shax, or run through Gambit for the other guy. Banshee waves his hand. I forget his name. Smells funny, sticks on his clothes. Anyway, he continues. The weapon will come out the same no matter how you get the data, so just help whoever you like the most. Me, I'd go with Zavala. I don't know the Drifter, and that guy with horns on his hat is just too loud. I have a weakness for the Drifter and also for Gambit, so... mod components.
Here you go.
Sure.
Good eye.
Got some of these. I like Twink God over there.
Hello, Guardian. Welcome.
Hi. Okay. So, I just want to explore.
Zavala, this is Osiris. Promised you updates. There's not much to tell. Mercury, Mars, Io, and Titan are gone. With that in mind, I wanted is of Hive origin. A fang of Zivor Wrath, sister to the taken king Oryx. Traveler may have reformed. Until it acts, understanding the darkness is our best chance at defeating it. Perhaps in this relic there is a real, tangible hope. Just empty promises.
Like fairy lights there. And get me some more fairy lights. Okay, fine. Fine, I will, Zavala, your most recent correspondence came as a surprise. While I thank you and Ikora for undergoing the formality of lifting my exile, I'd not expected any additional direction from Vanguard High Command, and so I have not read it. The zealots that followed me to Mercury have proved themselves useful twice now, actually. They possess an artifact in their stores, a high fang. Look to the grooves that run along its route. They allow it to break away from the jaws so that another may take its place. The hive bear resemblance to another predator I found in simulations of ancient Earth. I don't imagine you've ever seen a shark, Zavala, but you'd admire their simplicity and single-minded devotion. They are creatures of predatory instinct, pure, in a way, to know what one is and act on it. They are not unlike our enemy, not evil, but driven. You will receive a case. Within it you will find said fang. It is of Shiva Arath, hive aspect of war. In my travels I found similar artifacts ground and burnt upon a shrine buried deep in Athena's crust. The shrine reeks of hive magic and is obviously a site of the ritual. I fear that in reaction to our dark visitors, the broken ranks left leaderless after Hashladin's demise call out to be recommitted into the fold. It is time to act, Zavala. She means to test our vulnerability. Do not wait in your office for the traveller to guide you. The city looks to the Vanguard to lead us to something better than fear. Be that leader, and I will stand by you. What do I want? 24-hand cannon. That one. Okay. Read this law too. The Awoken skulked through dead dregs, picking at the awoken exhausted candidates like a carrion dog. She'd done this each first week of each month since a revival beneath a grave heap in the bowels of the Shaw's fighting pits. She was knocked down many times that day, and many more in the short year. She had borne the light, but found the ritual of writing no oneself uplifting. The clawing repetition to reach unspoiled eye taught that persistence rewards. Over time, with the light, panicked, bloody defeats instead became swift victories and acclaim. Clumsy and unrefined, it was enough to win battles with flashy results. Glitz drew attention to the verboten fighting ring. Its coordinators had not informed the Spider of the Syndicate's contributions to the stores of ether, nor the discovery of another unclaimed light-bearer. Instead, they'd chosen to pocket cuts and remain silent. They sought to quiet the rumours and retain the flow. In their haste to dispatch and trap her ghost, they taught Trin to devour, and the void freed her mind. Her short stint to bounce mystified an ethos over the mountains and her escape, but her name wouldn't fade from her memory. The ring still required dismantling. 2 days ago, she pressed beyond the tangled shore in its watchful barren, into the no-man's land between awoken borders and all this drifting slag rock. Trin hunted vengeance and ether, her first nourishment, invigorating habitual nostalgia. The scattered elixir that remained throughout the systems had little nothing as the bulk of so many houses' stores were consolidated in Europa, or less so within the Spider's hold. Trin had no ship to leave the shore, but neither did her betrayer. She was happy to make do here. Proximity Beacon is still picking up notes. Trin's ghost, Shakto's will of her. Looks like your old body's tip was trustworthy. Trin nodded in acknowledgement. Shakto transferred information to attack band. He continued. They're fast, but not far away, although there isn't much cover in that area. The Lightbearer scanned the projection from a forearm. Fast, yes. Must be pikes, can't be on foot. Prepare mine. We can catch them before it gets dark. They'll hear us coming if we get too close. And Trin whipped back mustard-coloured robes to straighten 2 short elixir-style scabbards at her hips before mounting a pike. A thundercrack sent her into the astral wind. Shakto compiled into existence in a holstered seat in the chassis, set just above the pike's manoeuvring apparatus. The front scoop sloped groundward from him like a trunk, fashioned with tusks and themed of an old earth beasts. I'm not even sure if they're fallen, just that something moved through the ship line. What besides the elixir pikes moves that fast? Her voice was clear through the direct channel. Scorn, on pikes. The numbers are scanned. She navigated connection points between drifting chunks of land. Rubble drifted against the pull of gravity. And they don't come out this far. It's one of his crews. Tricks us all he wants you dead. You're making my point. I'm gonna keep this and not eat it just yet. Prefer that, but let's read this. I'm saying it's a fight we can avoid right now. Spidey doesn't give them much. Shakta wanted to say it wasn't enough to die over, but he'd seen a starved husk enough times to know it wasn't true. Sustenance was always enough to die over, and for her, hurting the ring was enough to spend 100 lives. Enough for us. Enough to hurt Trixus even if he isn't there. The ether stops, the loyalty stops, the fight stops. He might not have come in person. Even so, Trixus serves Avarok. Shakta blew the volume of his voice in a comms, buzzing a helmet saying ringing through ears. We shouldn't hit him directly. Not yet. It would draw direct attention from the spider. Trin clunked the base of her hand against the helmet to kill the rattle. If you only ever did what you condoned, we'd have half the armoury and a sliver of the knowledge. She cut the pike's engine atop the ridge, overlooking a shanty encampment at the gully below. It's not about that, Shakta said, dismounting. 6 pikes were parked at the group below, engine still flexing as metal cooled. One of the spiner's sign servitors slumped in a corner to heap near a vertical jutter up. It shimmered hypnotically with power cutting in and out. That's odd, Shakta said as he floated forwards. Dull atmospheric glow gave way to stars in empty space behind him. Trin dismounted and spoke without looking at him. More is more. If there's a servitor here, it's serious. Trixus, that's an upper associate's pike. It might be Avarok's one of the others. Okay, Trin, if Spider gets wind you're robbing him, killing his associates, he'll send the enforcer. We do not want that. Only if they live. Who do you think comes looking if they don't? You're not ready for that kind of fight. She knelt and surveyed the empty camp. Then we wait and see who turns out. It was morning before movement broke the draining stillness. Trin felt her eyelids bobbing, flickering momentary dreams and zoetrope staccato between glimpses of light washing over the horizon. There. Shakta's tone, wrong button, nudged above the ambient tectonic groans of the reef. Trin creaked forward to peer over the ridge. In the gully below, an Elixni captain adorned in bent and snapped quills tracked itself by a single arm across the dirt. Ether gas and fluid gurgled from damaged lines across its mask and equipment rig. That's not Trixus. Trin's words were half-cast disappointment and relief. No. Still one of his, though. I recognise the red-tipped quills. A subordinate. This is better for us. What happened? No perimeter trips or weapons discharges that I'm aware of. Shakta chirped with a tinge of befuddlement. Can you tell who? From here, with their face in the dirt? Trin stood and brushed her robes. I'm going to get a closer look. I am going to eat that. The encampment was huddled, several days old, formed from a new dirty tents, huddled around a handful of unpacked crates and 2 sealed ones. The entranced servitor had dimmed it, and foul-smelling liquid spilled from its punctures and rotted gashes in its plating. Trin looked the machine over curiously. It was an oddity this far from the shore, and to be left unprotected was even stranger. Toppled on dirt, an arc spear tip drew her eye to an open case of digging tools, high tensile strength line and respirator filters, and just beyond, the wheezing captain. Trin scooped the spear from the ground and walked the few steps up to him. What name do you go by, Trixus? Her Elixni was of the shore, a crude form result of the elegant language diluted by sole domestic phrases and pronunciations. The captain thrashed and rolled onto its back, snapping quills like kindling. It propped itself on rough-hewn fleshy steps to extend its reach and swiped out with a single remaining arm. Froth spilled from its cracked mask, and underneath a broken section of the brow line, a maddened eye fixated on her. What's wrong with him? Shakta materialised. Trin sighed. I don't know. Presenting physiology as fallen, but altered. Something in the ether? Whatever they called you, your life is mine now. The light bearer drove the arc spear into the captain's chest with a one-measured thrust. We'll keep doing this until he has no subordinates. He'll be forced to deal with it eventually. Trin swiped a spent ether canister from the captain and held it up to the light. Shakta. Looks clean to me, the ghost said after a little focus scan. Trin tossed the canister to shatter on the ground and moved back to the unopened crates. She cracked off one of the lids with a spear and set both aside. Just sort of a dozen full fragile vials containing delicately jostled within soft packaging, save a few with froth percolating through worn seals, so ether swished like plasma fluid inside the glass. They wouldn't leave this much unattended. Shakta followed the dirt drag trails back from the captain to curve in the stone walls of the gully. The trail led him to a narrow separation in the rock face. Trin. It was enough space to contour her body through. Scrapes ran from the edge of the split into a dark slithering tunnel. Trin took a stone from the ground and rolled it with her hands, coaxing condensed smoothness from it with palms of void light. She flicked the glowing sphere into the separation and watched it roll a few metres along the line before it skipped over the edge and fell steeply outside. Think it fell straight through the reef? Reef? I'd say no. That rope rose somewhere. Trin squeezed shallow breaths into her lungs with each shuffling step. It was all the stone pressing on her ribs would allow. She closed her eyes to keep instinctual panic in check and lurched forward with the final step to meet the precipice. The walls opened, her lungs filled. Line dangled beneath her feet. She grabbed the line and tested the solidity of the ground, spike holding it in place. Shakta, I'm going down. Several metres deep in the darkness, buzzing spelunking lights spread grisly scene aglow. 3 vandals, 2 dregs, and a captain lay slain and lifeless, ripped agape, some digitally twitching from arc blade cuts. Near the captain, 2 severed arms, blood pools. A third arm, prosthetic, was pinned to an adjacent stone wall. Her breath trembled. She knew this violence. It was the only thing the pits had ever offered her. What did you find? Shakta's voice reverberated down the shaft, preceding his descent. In the middle of the chaos, a low metallic structure groaned as Trin stood in deathly quiet, piecing together the sequence of events. The structure's form was slender, shapely, and one she had not seen before. It bent in lines that were lost within each other's paths, interconnected without sacrificing distinction. It drew her in. Trin stepped forward and ungloved her hand. She pressed her palm to the onyx-coloured metal spires. Something quivered within and came alive. "What are you?" she would ask, over the concerned interjections of a ghost. The answer, it would reply to her alone, at least the first time. The day had drawn long into the night, and she had left the cavity, pacing the encampment, and returned many times to the onyx spires. She would prod. It would weave the riposte. Power in many shapes. Purpose, time, meaning. Any trait the ambitious could muster, it would ennoble withstanding. It would taper the meat, lean the fat, declose the waste, flavour the cut. A protean horror of trim, it stuck awe. Glory incarnate, made tangible within the beholder. It showed her the heap that she clawed life from. It showed her the betrayal Drixus coated her opponent's blades with. It showed her the tools they mean to rip her apart, a ghost with. It dug out the many beatings her bones still remembered, and the blood ran red into her eyes. The anger, the validating need for vengeance. It showed her a head set upon a pike. More, more, more. That night she dreamed of the pit. If this living metal thing could lead her to Drixus, the way forward was clear. Shakto said it was taller now, a head above its previous size. She had thought that metal does not grow, it is only reshaped or reduced, but upon reflection had come to accept aggregation was growth. Trin returned with tools that would drew from a pike. Some gifts, some collected from marks that no longer needed them, all worn for with extended use. Dilution fluid ransacked from parked pikes would steady the process. Through canisters of ether swiped from the encampment dangled around her neck in a makeshift sling, while the rest was left stowed in a vehicle's saddlebags. Shakto didn't need to warn her of the danger. It had killed her before. Her first victory, her first reward. It would give her strength. It would focus her mind. The ghost would await her return above ground. She laid the tools before the spindled onyx struck her. Fine silk rolled the soft leather kept from dirt. Traced the cloud-chromed instruments with steady pupils. Wiped clean with oil and cloth. Prepared light to staunch her invigoration should it turn grisly. Connected the pitted dispersal gauge with a transparent clean line. Capped line with a fine and untarnished gold barb. Drew thick sulphuric fluid, appropriately diluted. Pinched skin at the thigh beneath fresh wraps. Flesh to onyx. Induced. Cold prickling stung her veins. Muscles tensed and bulged against the sheaths of light she'd bound them to keep them bursting. Her bones creeped under ether bolstered thew. She licked away flavour from her lips, exhalant tinged of binding nitrogen, and shivered. As her body stabilised and the tremors climbed, Trin's head reflexively craned upwards and outstretched her neck. Her mind electrified. Her spine bent at the brim of buckling. Her spirit awakened from the dull normality. She saw the glistening maelstrom engulf the living onyx before her. She heard clarity in the purring mirth emitting from the stone. 3 times she had done this, the last leaving several fractures in the bones of her hands. The stone played out her vengeance in 1,000 different ways. She studied each path that left Drixus dead and forgotten. She studied those that showed her future, a failure, but there were gaps and she always needed more. Trin drew upon the second vial with a golden needle. It struck as if bottled lightning. She peeled back the layers. She witnessed it, knew now that the onyx stone had not risen but was thrust into the floor like a plunging blade. A banneret and claim. A needle-point finger. It sold the simple answers in exchange for mental frippery, the unused space between thoughts. A buried name revealed. Suggesting, then asking, insisting, impellent, impeded. It tore consciousness across the cosmos to a grand terrace of onyx swords, hilted in emerald flame and overlooking darkened systems. A glint in the distance. A world? A name? A promise offered and dragged in Sisyphean humour as voices from black edges of space converged in laughter. A lone figure stood on the terrace, aside 2 empty thrones. A host of mouths split down the centre line of its form. They screamed with countless voices. Their harmonious epiphany dragged the buried name from the depths to the pit, from the heap to the surface. It was the only truth before her, and with it drowned regret. Trin opened her eyes to Shakto nudging her head. It took every ounce of restraint to keep her blade sheathed. It was the fright, she thought. She hadn't expected him. You were muttering a name. He waited for her response. She sat up in the dim cavern before the cryptolith and quickly scooted back several places. Her muscles ached and every small motion splintered pain through torn tendons and microfractured bones beneath the skin. What? Pulsing irritant was raging inside her head. It wasn't the ether. This was different. Do you remember the name? Shakto moved back to her side and began restoring her injuries. Something is coming here. Trin turned to a ghost. I don't. Shivu Arath. Shakto saw no recognition as light bearer's eyes, but Trin felt the name nestle into the small unused crevice of her mind. It had taken hold. In the day's journey back to the mainland of the shore, the name would spread, making war on her thoughts. Trin would dream of Drixus, always, only to awaken with dug-in fingernails drawing blood from her palms, or find herself alone wading into the night on some desolate moat of rock. She'd been separated from Shakto twice like this before. They found a remedy. Death. Revival kept the name at bay, but only for so long. She came to know the name through its persistence. Sivu Arath. It would knock her down many times, but she'd always found the ritual of writing oneself uplifting. This would not bury her, for she had much to do. Spooky. Right. I want to talk to anyone else. Oh, let's just go, like, talk to Ikora and see if she has anything to say. Whoops. Fucking idiot me. Cannot believe. I suppose it got the job done. Actually, I'm going to see if Shax has anything to say too. Might as well talk to him all. You got anything?
You're doing your part out there, I hope. But the crucible...
Probably not, but you know, whatever. I just want to see if Ikora has anything to say.
For most of us, there are moments where our losses creep into our minds and overwhelm our senses. For Eris, that has been every second since those phantoms began haunting her. Sure, she's strong, more so than most. But even the strongest require allies in their darkest moments. That's been you.
I love
Through it all,
Eris.
you stood by her side
Beerus more.
as a friend. That's something Eris hasn't had in a very long time.
Ikora
I'm
believes
sure
that.
she won't soon forget it. And neither will I.
Ikora believes Eris is more than just an ally. She's a friend, one you've stood by through thick and thin. Eris thanks you. She feels nothing but admiration and appreciation for you and your efforts in helping Eris on the moon. It's been some time since we last spoke. I hope you are well, though hope it seems is little weak in this turbulent time. I found myself trying to resist the urge to theorise or apply motive, though I feel ensnared by the temptation to do so. Ikora expels a deep breath. There is reason behind all of this. Order, clarity, somewhere. Ikora shifts to look at you. Tension pinches her face. Perhaps it is not hope that is needed, but rage. Rage for the lives that will pluck from the sky, for the holes left open and undefended, for the shadows allowed to creep into our home in the pyramid's wake. She looks to the traveller. There is much to answer for. Talk to Drifter too. Why not? You know? Oh, like Yagami himself. Christ. Rip to the prismatic recaster.
Kill anything big lately?
You got for me. I don't think I have that, so I'll pick it up.
That was made for you.
Trust I do have, I'm pretty certain. Okay, whatever. If I don't have it, it's fine. Right. Okay, oh god. We're going to get going to Europa, but just quickly, I am going to hit all of the wrong buttons and AFK super duper quickly. That's better. Suffering, lads. Really do be suffering. I'll explore the Cosmodrome another time. For now, have. Okay. Do you have the season pass? Okay, whatever. Sorry, I got absolutely distracted there. Please pretend like that didn't happen. Let's go. And while we're loading, I will get my drink. I don't know if I'm gonna make it all the way to 11, like the whole stream I normally would do. I'm really suffering.
People of the last city.
Okay, we've seen this already.
Humanity has endured a
I'm sorry. I've already seen this cutscene. The darkness has come, eaten some planets, and we're being sent out to explore. That's the TLDR. Yeah, I got up for a second there and waves of pain. I think I'll keep going for about another hour. I may get distracted depending on how into the story I get, and then we'll see. We'll see how I feel. It may be that we get to a point that's a really good story break. Because my plan is to sort of try out all of the new things. So like I'll be streaming most, if not every evening this week, trying out new things. And then we'll start going back to Sunday streams, whereas, you know, doing whatever I'm doing.
I've seen terrible things born out in the darkness. Every moment brings them closer.
Okay, there we go.
My future does not begin here, but yours does. It's time to step beyond the light. And it all begins with a splinter.
My friends, we are all in great danger. Earth, that great machine, Elixir, and human. Darkness walks among us. We are all in great danger. My kind must survive. Please, send help. There is not much time.
friend posted in a Discord earlier. It was like, I feel really bad, but I have no idea who Varix is. I'm like, fucking same, buddy. Did I spend half an hour looking it up yesterday? Sure did. Totally just zoned out for a second there. Don't crash on, don't crash on, don't crash on me. Oh, error code B. Don't do this. There we go.
That's another one. They all scan the same. Empty.
Not what
Why
May's
did the
voice sounds
darkness
like.
invite us here. You're quiet today.
Yeah. It's just, we keep coming face to face with darkness. And every time we fail to stop it, we're just so powerless. I'm picking up a distress signal. Someone's in trouble.
My friends, we are all in great danger.
It's Varix. He has a lot to answer for.
Darkness walks among us.
I'll send a message to let Zavala know.
No, wait. Where is the signal coming from?
Here. Europa.
That's not at all what May's voice sounds like. It's more like mine, slightly deeper, not like, no, where's it coming from? Also my headcanon for May.
Distress signal beyond the ridge. We'd better hurry. It was Varix, you know. He instigated the riot at the Prison of Elders. He's equally responsible for Cade's death. The Vanguard's been after him since. No wonder he's hiding on a desolate moon.
Triangles. Fucking triangles. I haven't worked out exactly when Maeve was rezzed, Maeve my warlock, but it was...
We're close to the origin point of Varix's distress signal.
Whoops, didn't mean to hit that.
Those fallen patrols are right where we're going. The campsite. They must be after Varix too. Let's hurry.
Time for me to lag. That's what's going on here. Okay, not to be that bitch, but I know what non-powerful enemies look like. I'm just bad, okay? Like, that's what my problem is. Also, it's super lagging. There we go. God, it's been so long since I fucking...
Your house symbol. What are we dealing with?
It's been so long since I, I'm just looking. I'm looking respectfully. Ooh. Sorry. It's been so long since I streamed Destiny, I feel like everyone's gonna be like, oh, what's wrong with you? Why are you so bad? And it's like, I fucking suck at video games, dude. That's why.
Someone's been staying here. There's traces of darkness energy.
Also, and more presciently, that.
Bray Tech from Eventide, Clovis Bray's Golden Age colony here on Europa. Whoever was here was using it to track
Barracks 2. They must have intercepted the distress signal before we did. Okay, I've got the signal's true origin point now. It's not far. Let's hurry.
More ships. Let me know if this sound is too loud, by the way. I'm going to turn it down because it feels loud to me, but that might also just be me. Right, let's do a big F. Ow. This is spooky. I've been trying to work out, like, if Forsaken is like a western, and then Shadowkeep is a horror, like, what typical movie genre is Beyond Light gonna be? Huh. There we go, come on. GG. Not having to wait to summon Sparrow is so weird.
Really done it this time. If we don't get to him first, someone else will. If it's not already too late. Wait. Darkness. It's close. I feel it, but it's different somehow.
Intriguing. Let's proceed on foot then, I guess. Cutscene time. Maybe jump. Me too, buddy.
Not only a traitor, but a thief. Now where is it?
Safe from you, yes.
Search the buildings. Find it. Wait!
Aramis, old friend. These powers, they create chaos. They are changing you. This.
Cling to your machine god. With this power, we make our own fate. Always playing pretend. Living in the past. I should have seen it. Make an example of him.
missed a little bit of that cutscene because I got distracted. I had to check something quickly. So yeah, Maeve, I'm not sure exactly when they rezzed, but whenever it, whenever it was, they don't have a lot of knowledge of like anything before the Red War. Like the Red War is really when at least their memory of like Guardian stuff starts.
That's where Varrix's signal is coming from.
Anybody like when they're like references to like, oh, this thing happened in Destiny 1, and they're like, what? I headcanon that Ghost does like a lot of the heavy lifting for them in terms of just like private messaging them to explain stuff, and private messaging I say as if that makes any sense. By the way, I'm sorry I'm lagging so much. That's just how it be in this bitch of a world. Gonna F. Anybody else? No. No, I have to pick up an orbs. Ooh, ammo too.
Wait a second, I'm picking up more chatter on the Fallen's comms.
Have them surround the perimeter. The snake does not leave here alive. It will be done, Eramiskel.
Savior, hurry! You must free me.
It works. Now I can pick up the ammo over here.
Varrix thanks you. And now must hide.
Not so fast. We heard your message. Darkness walks among us. What do you mean?
There is no time. They are coming. Varrix asks for your protection once more. I will take shelter inside, succeed, and Varrix will reveal all.
Just fucking disappeared is what he did. What the shit? Oh no. Ow. Oh. Hang on.
That's the last of it.
Success, Savior. Varrix is truly grateful.
Then prove it. We expect answers.
Insect like chittering.
Come to Varrix and you will have them. But know that our work here has only just begun.
Happy season rank. don't want to upgrade. You shan't make me. Eat of that. Ah, my mods. Not used in the slightest. Some mods on there. SMG. Like that. This. Okay. Go with this one. I should have got a whole bunch of upgrades. Oh well. Oops. That. I'll buy a bunch more upgrade things later down the line, I guess. Triumphs. I thought it would have been under the law, but we should try, like, where do I... Okay, well I thought it would have been under law, but clearly I was wrong. So I'm just enjoying, there we go, looking at these. Anything else? There we go. This is cancelled. Okay. In the depths of the prison of elves, Aramis is the Kell of no house. Outside she's the firebrand of House Devils, the archfiend of the Twilight Gap, the ship stealer. But here she has no house. Here she reigns all on her own. In the arena where Elixir once needed this cabal challenger, she rules with a broken heart spear for a scepter. It's the strongest weapon they give her, and she bends it to her will. No matter how many times the Ether Fight guards try to send it to her death in the arena, she triumphs. She kills the champions, watches the Ether hiss from their masks, watches the jelly cap their suits. She begins to cherish the smell of a good fight. Blood, sweat, ether, fear. She imagines that one day a banner will be emblazoned with a broken sphere and an inverted crown. House of Anarchy, House of Riot, House of Aramis, House of Nothing. When there is only one Kell, there is no need for houses. Today she fights the Centurion of the Broken Red Legion. Money changes hands. His pauldrons are scuffed with the memory of battle and he's been given a warhammer. She raises it to cheers and peacocks through the crowd. Aramis tosses her broken spear between her hands, waiting. Two glowing pinpoint eyes focus on her as the Centurion turns. He swings the hammer at her and she rolls out the way. He swings it again, but she's behind him now, out of his sightline. Like a creature searching for a fly on its back, he struggles to find her. She jabs the sparking head of her arc spear into the notch in his armour and uses the leverage to vault herself onto his shoulder. He rages like a near-sight beast, or figuring in stupidity, and nearly throws it from his shoulders. She tries to pull the spear free, but his giant hand knocks her senseless for a moment. The spear releases at the last minute. She grabs the top. Arc energy bites her palm as she jams the tip of the blade under the edge of his helmet into his neck. He screams. Before he falls, she leaps off and lands on her feet. The crowd never cheers for her. Instead, they whisper. No prison will hold Aramis Kell, they say. Aramis Kell is a devil greater than the devil themselves. Aramis Kell does not know how to lose. Okay, let's see. Go. Intrigued. Sorry, I am very easily distracted. Do not yell at me. Just let me enjoy being confused. Do you love all of these ghost mods? Extremely cool. Anyway. Just get going. What's up?
You do not trust Varix, yes? But leave your distrust, your blame, for later. The Elixni who attacked me, she is Aramis, ship stealer. A new Kell of Kells, unifier of the houses. And she seeks to build an army of Elixni, powered by darkness. If she is not stopped, she will destroy us all. You must go. Varix will help you find your way.
Got it, just bear with me a sec. Varix tells you about Aramis, new Kell of the Fallen, or the Elixni as they call themselves. Through communing with Pyramid, she has managed to harness the power of darkness and use it as a weapon. Varys escaped with proof of that power, asking for help. If Aramis succeeds in giving his power to all of her Elixni followers, nothing, not even the Guardians, will be able to defeat her. Varys asks you to fight Aramis immediately. Perhaps she can still be stopped. Pursue Aramis, Kell of Darkness. Complete the new Kell. Okay, I have to come done beyond light before I can do your bounties. Okie dokie.
No good can come from the darkness. Aramis forgets the whirlwind.
I wish it wouldn't give me the, like... what's that one? Words so difficult. Oops. Just like almost jump headlong off of a cliff. Doing God's work.
Varix. The power Aramis used to trap you. Was that?
Darkness. Yes. We call it stasis. Power in opposition to your light, given by the pyramid. It led Aramis astray. Europa was to be a haven for Elixni, but stasis corrupted her. With it, she turns obsession into opportunity, working in haste to empower Elixni with the dark gift. If Aramis is not stopped, she will build an army capable of snuffing out the light once and for all.
I don't like the sound of that, I have to say. There was a box. I saw it. I saw the box. Box is now mine. Oh. Just what we need. Spooky new types of Vex. You'd love to see it. Insert sarcasm here. I don't know what's going on, so I'm gonna eat some orbs and then go. Nope. Get out of here. This is neat. Keep loading, keep loading.
This is what remains of Eventide. Clovis Bray's European colony, built to house those who came to build Exo, and to become them.
I'm really intrigued
So
by.
you came to Europa to what? Hide from the Vanguard?
Varix knows of the elephant in the room. Cade 6's death was not my intention. No day passes without regret. I will answer for these crimes, but not before my people are safe from Aramis.
Okay, not that way then. Yeah. Well, some bitch up there sniped me. Meet me in the pit, though. Me swearing and insulting them is very important. Yep. Ow. Well, the intention was to say explode elsewhere, but it didn't happen, so... Oh boy. Yes, reborn approach. Names right, that is approach. Love me some good alliteration, I do. Don't know why I went with badly West Country.
That dome. Is that
Just
where
gonna
you
do
live?
A pinnacle of hope for the remaining Elixir, but a standing reminder of Aramis's betrayal of Varix.
Beep. Fuck. Hold. Piss shit and ass. Come on. Anyone else out here left to fight? Nope. Well, I mean, I'm sure there are, but... Beep. Bugger. Okay, defeat with your super. Okay. Let's not die. Let's do that. Seems like a good idea, not dying.
Is that where you live?
A pinnacle of hope for the remaining Elixir, but
I'm gonna
a
approach
standing reminder of
this way.
Aramis's betrayal of Varix.
Pop that on. Put the center up first. Then oops. Beep. Beep. bip, bip. Where am I being shot from? Right. Rest of them are in there. Got super up. Just bring the super into here and let that do its thing. I can hear Shanks up there. Running and yelling. It's the way to be. Wow. There we go. Hang on. Don't attack me just yet. I've got to pick up ammo. Nice. Thank you. No! Oh god! Yeet! Welcome to my meat yeet. Balls, piss, shit and ass. My foot fucking went to sleep as well. Well, no. God, do we have to start? Where do we start from? All the way back here? For real? My god, that's so annoying. Wonder if I can just...
Is that where you live?
A pinnacle of hope for the remaining Elixir, but a standing reminder of Aramis' betrayal of Varix.
Right, can Can I just, rather than fight my way through over and over again, can I just do this? I'm guessing I can't get to that box unless I've killed them all, but... what I'm gonna do nice. Somehow around there it's shooting me, that's what it is. There we go. I was out of that. I'm so #offended. This is beyond like part 1, Mochi fails repeatedly. Right. Well, the good news is both possible and some might say sensible to just fucking
Where you live?
not do this.
But a standing reminder of Erebus.
Eat. It's like B1070 and I'm like, oh, oh.
That dome. Is that where you
Don't
live?
get stuck, you fool.
Pinnacle of hope for the remaining elixir, but a standing reminder of Erebus's betrayal of Barracks.
Right, come on, keep running. Looking at. Full glimmer. You'd love to see it. Running and yelling. Running and yelling. Anyone else? Nope. Right. House Salvation, that's a good name. Yeet. I'm nowhere near it, okay? Look at that. Look how not anywhere near it I am. Right. Here's what we're gonna do. Okay, and there we go. Almost like I didn't fuck up at all. You know? You dick? Keep picking down what I'm putting up. Okay. And okay. No, I'm not going to eat that just yet. Do that. Right.
I feel it again. The energy I felt earlier. It must
Well,
have been Aramis using stasis.
let me be extremely clear here. I'm not happy about that. Like, I just want to, like, make that known. No, don't explode on me. Don't explode on me. Don't. No exploding. No exploding on the notch. No exploding on the notch. Thanks for the heavy ammo. If you're enjoying the sound of me just like softly honking at myself.
Darkness trail Aramis left behind leads right through that door. But it's locked.
It's locked. Jammed.
Stasis. Yes. You will not be able to break through.
Then you'll find another way around. Aramis is close. She's ours now.
Listen, I've learned anything in my short time experiencing stories is that no, she isn't. The like sudden cut to black in the cutscene always trips me up.
For centuries we have been bound by them, servants to the so-called Great Machine. We even built idols in its image. We have become
Servitor says,
pawns of our own devices. No longer. Today, we begin breaking free from our chains. This power is a gift. One I will share with all of you in time. Vilax! One by one, we will rise again. keep them waiting.
Oh, so good. I have like such a deep and abiding love, oh, fuck's sake, not again, in my heart for the like audio hook for the darkness, the like
No, this... I can feel it. It's too powerful.
Erebus has begun spreading stasis to her army. You must get out now.
I'm calling our ship. Let's go.
okay. I'm running, running and yelling.
Don't stop. Keep moving.
Bad news bees, we really do be being trapped. Well, that was rude. Right.
Oh no. This... I can feel it. It's too powerful.
Erebus has begun spreading stasis to her army. You must get out now.
I'm calling our ship. Let's go. Don't stop. Keep moving.
Ow! Ah! Bee. Nope. Oh, well, Phylax is straight up immune. So I just absolutely wasted that super, but oh well.
They actually have darkness. The Fallen. This is really bad. Ship's here. To the left.
Very cool. I like that. Being able to hop like straight into the ship. Ooh, spooky. Daddy Kyle channel.
Varix believed Aramis wished to create a new life for the Elixni, but these dark powers have poisoned her mind. And so I fled from her. For this, she calls me betrayer. There are others who fled, those like me who still worship the great machine. They are in hiding. I will not leave them behind. They will be casualties in her war without our help. But perhaps they can be brought to safety.
Varix is alarmed to hear about Aramis' lieutenants using stasis. The situation is more dire than he realised. He wants to remain on Europa in order to help other Elixni who wish to flee Aramis, and asks you to help set up a comms network using a nearby array. That way he can communicate with his allies and prepare for evacuation. Help Varix set up the patrols network in Charon's Crossing. You got it. Go talk to you.
Where is Mizrax, the light Kell?
Doing his best, no doubt. Distraction, can I? right, I need an upgrade module and then I can eat that. I need to upgrade my chest, that's what I need. The neighbouring Kel holds a wolf. She ignores him at first. He's too greedy for her acknowledgement. Sometimes he reminds her of the needy drugs that followed her old Kel like carrion birds, squawking for attention and squabbling over his kills. What the Elixni have lost, more than anything else, is dignity. Eventually the wolf learns to intrigue her. He calls himself Praxis, and he has ideas. But he's young. He thinks every idea he conceives of is the first and best of its kind. She suspects he's ever had to report directly to a Kel. She likes to talk about machines, building them and bending them to his will. He has a mad idea about recapturing the great machine, binding it in arc wire and making it give him its power. He's been listening to the stories about Gaul. She lets him talk and she asks him a question. Every question is a whetstone. Every conversation is the test, and it will take only one failure to lose her interest. The great machine made the Elixni great, she says, until it left us. When it did, we were weaker than when it arrived. Why do you seek its touch again? To return us to that strength, he says. His voice is muffled through the wall between them, but the arrogance comes through clear. How can you build strength on a foundation of weakness, she asks. Each word is a needle, each word is stinging with revelation. He remains silent. Did the great machine make the Elixni strong, or did it draw out the strength within us, she asks. Again, silence. She tilts her head back, looking at the dark ceiling of her cell. Reliance is her greatest weakness. Remember that. You are playing with a child stacking spheres. He's silent so long she begins to wonder if he was worth her time. Then he says, I will create new spheres. Extremely cool.
In darkness, there is only blind destruction.
Just because he keeps saying, like, in darkness, my brain transmutes it into in darkness blooms the spider lily. Anyway. Nice. Watch as I sit here, totally spacing out, right? Let's go. I think we're going to do this, and then it should bring us up to about 11, and then I'm going to stop for the night. Because boy howdy am I in pain. I should try and do a workout, but I just genuinely cannot face it.
Europa is no longer the haven I hoped it would be. For those who do not wish to live under the rule of a dark Kel, we must play savior. A secret communications network would allow us to reach out.
Barracks, we're ready. Where is the first relay?
Barracks thanks you.
Oh, it's the wind. That's what it is. That's why I'm struggling. There we go.
Power's going, Barracks.
Good. 2 more.
Me getting absolutely distracted all the time in this economy? It's more likely than you'd think. Sure.
Okay, Barracks, that's 2.
Oh no.
Did you hear that? Sounded like voices.
Sure did.
What? Who?
The ones who spoke through me.
Must hurry, then. There's one more relay.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm not a fan. Triangle time. Ow.
Oh no. It's them. They're here. They're beckoning us.
Well. Hang on, I want to. I guess we have no choice. The crux.
Beckoned. You answered. We've kept you waiting long enough. Come to us. Salvation awaits.
Like, do I have to? Actually, completely in canon for me to like jump in head first without thinking. They'd be like, new thing?
The light believes you thankless. Nothing more than a soldier asked again and again to do its bidding. So we want to thank you with a gift to help you finally take control.
Because like that's the thing is Maeve, the warlock, absolutely straight up like they go straight to the darkness without thinking about it if it offered them answers. There she is, Beirus Morn. I love it. Eris and Drifter are two of my favourite characters in this game, so.
And here comes our guardian. Right on time.
Also enough that the Exo Stranger has a Aussie accent. That was such a cool cutscene. Oh, that was so cool. Someone's like, so you just saw a big evil triangle and you went towards it? And Myron's like, I mean, yeah, kind of. Did I just talk to you on the tower?
Your old pal Drifter was right. It's time to ditch the light, good, dark, bad dogma. Folks are finally starting to see it.
With everything that's at stake, you are
reveling in being right.
Just let me have this one, Three Eyes. Alright? Just once.
These two genuinely like two of my favourite characters in this game. So.
I cannot tell you how relieved I am to see you. We are in great need of allies. And I am in even greater need of a buffer between myself and the ever-obnoxious Drifter. The stranger, you see, is far too reserved to provide sufficient rest from his chatter. I suspect her quiet has more to do with what she has to hide, though I've yet to work out what or why. Still, even these two are an improvement from my solitary studies on Luna. You're lucky to have your ghost, Guardian. As you can surely tell already, this journey into darkness is not to be traveled alone.
Big evil triangle? Hell yeah, brother, I'll walk straight towards it.
I know. I owe you an explanation for all this. I once asked Guardians to destroy the Blackheart, to prevent Darkness's arrival.
Before my time.
Success may have been achieved, but I now know that fate comes knocking sooner or later. The floodgates are open. The darkness is here. I wield it now with intent to stop our enemies where the light cannot. Your resilience within the pyramid proves you're capable of wielding it too. Before us lies what we call a ziggurat. Its purpose is temptation. To begin your training, you must give in. Here, take this.
The ex-stranger was returned, just as the darkness was inviting you in, instead of warning you to turn back.
Understand. The line between light and dark is so very thin. Let's cross it together.
Instead of warning you to turn back, she says it's time to accept what it offers. The light is not enough to face Aramis and a Dark Council. If you want to defeat them, you must embrace the power of darkness as they have. She hands you a splinter of darkness. This will allow you to wield stasis. There are others like it, all in the House of Salvation. Yours, in the hands of House Salvation. Yours is weak now, but it will strengthen as your proficiency grows. Lastly, the ex-stranger offers you her campsite. As you collect lessons and keepsakes, return here to reflect on your experiences. But first you must accept the path before you. Begin by attuning your splinter and the monolithic ziggurat on the icy flats ahead. Time travel. Stranger is here to divert us from an inescapable dark future. Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 13. Aha! Let's read this new bit of lore. On the day of the prison break, Aramis is nursing a gut wound. It's not fatal, or at least she doesn't think so. She won a match in the arena, but not before an arrogant captain drove a sword into her side. It cut through her devil robes and left a bloom of blood that reminds her of the water flowers on Reese. Atheris loved water flowers. She's dozing when Varix arrives at her cell. Aramis. She opens her eyes and then narrows them immediately. Despite the wound, she stands. Too quick, she gets dizzy and steps towards the cell door. Traitor, she says in greeting. Varix flinches. He shakes his head, lowers his eyes. Even with the door between them, she can see his fear. It buoys her. There is change to come, he says quietly and licks me and then looks over his shoulder. His eyes dart back and forth, fearful and suspicious. He switches suddenly to the clumsy common language of the Guardians. Change Varix will make, yes. Change Varix will lead. But Varix, too, will need a leader. Aramis laughs. You wish to make me your prisoner, Cal? No, Varix crunches. Varix wishes I do not care what you wish, Varric the loyal, she says. There are Lixni who change in the shadow prison bars. They fall, they shrink, but Aramis has grown. She must show Varric that even with a steel between them, he is smaller. He is still a drag pretending to be a vandal. If there is justice in this world, one day I will dock your last 2 arms and leave you for dead. Something in Varric's eyes hardens. They share a tense silence. Finally, he says in a voice as cold as ether, do not say that Varric did not try to help. He leaves, and Aramis settles herself again on the floor of the cell. Later that day in an alarm cell, the warden projects a message in Varric's voice. The doors of the cell open, unprompted, as friends indeed Elixir and Cabal charge through the prison, thirsting for freedom.
Followers of Aramis share her insatiability, power, resources. They will never be satisfied. So, they must be stopped.
Oh, it's the door that's making that noise, right. Let's go. I really do genuinely love the look of this, like, spooky frozen ice. Hang on, I'm gonna do a thing. I need a keybind to turn HUD off. Yes, no, the HUD is turned off purposefully. Ooh. Don't crash on me, game. Thank you. HUD is turned off deliberately because I wanted to take screenshots. There we go.
I understand why you're going along with the stranger's plan, but, well, she's clearly not telling us everything.
I mean, clearly, but, like, what the fuck else am I supposed to do, you know? Spooky triangles be like.
The longer we're here, the more nervous I get. Not that I think you can't handle it. I know you can. I just wish I had a better idea of what that might be. We're definitely in uncharted territory out here.
Definitely are. We'll go back over and see if she has anything new to say. No, nothing. Cool. Fine. Just I get absolutely distracted. Forever sad that I won't be able to get the Chronicler achievement. I'll just have to like pick up all the lore that I can. So I can get Chronicler when it comes back. Sniper gaming is near. Important news. Insurmountable Skull Fort, now there's a name. don't actually know where I'm going. Off there, okay. So that's where Varix hangs out. Hangs out. Got to do these I presume there'll be like time to explore all of those later. Anything that calls itself something abyss, like eek, a shark is near. Absolutely certain I heard something whispering at me over here. There it is. I'm unnerved by the
I'm picking up a fallen transmission. It's
Hex just
Aramis.
Hex be like hangs around.
Did you know that before it doomed your
Titan
kind,
Dad.
it did
Hi.
the same to
Hi,
mine?
Dad.
You are not special, just the plaything of a so-called god who would sooner see your life end than its own.
Yeah, like that was indeed just how it be in this bitch of a world. I'm distracted by shiny things. Okay. We'll turn it down. Realised it was going to be quite so loud. Finalizer was a good name for them. think I think I need to pick up more ammos. I think I prefer the Void Seeker, but maybe we'll get different I see. There we go. Tell you what, this is gonna be fucking nightmarish in Crucible. Like more so than it already is. More so than Supers already are, I should say. Well, nice. God, but boy howdy is that ever satisfying. Like this spooky whispers.
I don't understand. You're actually wielding darkness. It's that thing the stranger gave you, isn't it? The splinter. I can feel its energy. I don't know about this. About where this takes us. If we use it at all, it has to be for good. In that case, let's start by using it to open those stasis latches. There's one nearby. I can feel it. Let's see what we can do.
I'm really scared that we're going to lose Ghost. Like, I really like Ghost, you know? You feel? Pardon me. Keeping that in order to eat it later. I wonder when we like properly unlock stasis as a class, you know? I am Phylax, once warrior of House Devils, once child of Home Reese. What? Stop shooting me. I'm reading. Get off my dick. Oops, wrong one. Once child of home wreaths, I now speak now to Elixir still scattered. Listen close, there is no repeating. Death to house devils, ashes to home wreaths. I cast off these useless things, and I pledge my life here to wreaths reborn, to Aramis and her house salvation. I fought many battles and found no warrior above the knifeful of Aramis' cow. Together we siege the walls of the Earth City with weapons in every claw. Side by side we spilled life force across the system. No catch was out of her reach, no death could seize her. Even enchained by the wretched Reefborn, she grew only stronger in mind and body. Kelkis, Golras, Axis, resurrect them all and watch her reduce them to dregs. Her new claim power is beyond any they wielded, beyond any our people ever knew, and she'll grant it to all who unite under her banner. Even now, as lieutenant, I share in that with her. Side by side, our bodies throng with the same ice-cold energy. Energy to grab the great machine from the sky and fortify our new city with its metal hide. Energy to defeat the wretched of the system and feed our children to the battle bounty. Energy to reign beyond 1,000 lifetimes. All you now hear, I am Phylax, warrior of darkness. Life to Reese reborn. Victory to the Kell of darkness. Glory to house salvation. Problem is, the phrase warrior of darkness for me has a very specific meaning. Right. We can do a fighting now. Right? Oh, Jesus. I was like, wait, yeah, bitch. And it turns out where it was at was directly in front of me.
So, we can use stasis to unlock these latches after all. Let's look inside, see if we can find anything useful.
Ooh. Wow. Died, but you know, worth. Well, I just want to see what's going on up here, you know? Like, I just want to know. Rude. The game's like, no, that's not where you're supposed to go. Like, I was mad, I say. Going whither I will. Almost died, but I didn't, and that's what matters. Okay, well, we'll explore that later. Let's go back to where we're supposed to go. I really am worried we're going to lose Ghost. From the trailer, I'm worried that we're going to, like, get... Ah! I just fell off there. A darkness version. It's very perfection artifacts. Architecture. Perfection. It's not work because I said it was. going the way we're supposed to. I will not get distracted exploring. We're doing story. Story is what we're focusing on. Think about Vex terraforming. Definitely. Words. We'll think about the Vex as terraforming later. Think about how I can definitely hear something making noises there. So. I want to... Okay, so I had to get a very specific screenshot there because I want to make an emote. I've wanted to make an emote for ages. Do you want to know something really stupid? I looked over in OBS and my own shadow in-game scared me. It's the sort of person that I am, you know? Should we do... No distract, only returning to do story now. Leave me alone. There were floor items, I had to pick them up. You wouldn't understand. Hi. Boy howdy, have I got some news for you.
Can it be?
Back.
I can smell that poisoned power on you. Does corruption spread so quickly? Or do you hope to fight Aramis with her own weapons?
Wink.
You walk a very dangerous path. Take this recklessness to Phylax then, but beware. She is Aramis's most skilled warrior. She made her name at Twilight Gap. Prove yourself a worthy opponent, and she will show herself.
Pharax disapproves of your new stasis abilities. He thinks you're being reckless. He wants you to remember what the darkness has done and what it is doing to Aramis. He refuses to believe that this is the only way to stop her. But he acknowledges that you are free to walk your own path, even if it's a dangerous one. He urges you not to lose sight of your goal. To get to Aramis, you must begin by defeating the leader of her army, Phylax. Thanks to a secret communication network, Pharax learned that Phylax was ordered to take control of an area currently occupied by the Vex. Gather information about the whereabouts of Phylax, the warrior, by challenging her soldiers in the Eventide ruins. Nice. Happy season rank. Right. Let's see.
You are like Ikora Ray. I see it. Be vigilant with darkness.
Fucking upgrade modules. Oh, I should have bought more. You fool me. What am I doing? What am I doing? Am I doing anything?
What do you know of the Nine? Be vigilant with darkness.
Nine have caused me real headaches.
The Awoken Queen holds many secret agendas, but her people trust she knows what is right. It may seem that my people have fallen, but it is not true. The word insults us.
Camera cuts to me and I'm just absolutely spacing out. Whatever, I'll get these another time, I guess.
Elixni are not all warriors. We are builders, caretakers, negotiators, weavers, physicians.
I think, having just picked up a daily bounty, that's what I wanted to do.
I do not remember the tune, only the words. The suns have set, the day is done, the pink gives way to grey. Yes, that's right.
Right. We've come to a pretty nice story break, so I'm actually going to end stream here. It is slightly early, but I don't want to get distracted. However, I am going to head back to the tower because I've got a couple of things I can pick up myself, an exotic, buy a bunch of upgrade modules, and get an exotic from Amanda. So I'm kind of annoyed that like they've taken away the quests because I liked the lore that you got with those quests. But at the same time, it's like, me, you should have, like, I wish I'd been playing this game for longer so that I wouldn't have, like, loaded in and had so many quests to do and then not got any of them done. Because now I'm annoyed at myself for not having done them, because in my head they're always going to be undone, even though they're, like, not available anymore. I'm hoping that the quests or missions, whatever you want to call them, that have lore attached to them or story attached to them will come back. I'm also desperately hoping for the Black Armory to come back because I'm so pissed that I never got to do any of that. Ugh, grumpy. Right. Not got any engrams to unlock, do I? No. Right. Okay. Opening exotic arsenal. Cipher. Okay. Can I get any of these? Not enough space, bugger. Let's make some room then.
Let's get started.
Nice. That.
Done and done. Done and done.
There we go. That should keep me all exotic up for a bit. Need that. This annoyingly.
All that jumping around never sat right with me.
Cannot be upgraded anymore. Which is annoying. Can that be? Can. Fine. Back to SMG it is then. Oops. Ah. Okay. Do I have anything which can be upgraded? No. Fuck. Alright then. I want to use shotgun though. Okay, well I'm gonna eat that then.
Well, that's really bad.
Upgrade those later. Okay. Okay. Let's see.
We'll need all the help we can get.
Luna. Start with the base of spades. I'm trying to think like what am I likely to use? So there's not many of these, so get ace of spades.
They need this wreck filled by tomorrow.
Watch as I see her incredibly distracted. Okay.
How did you not watch that Crucible match?
Problem is, I really just prefer malfacings. I, King 6, being a soundish mind and body, do hereby henceforth heretofore leave my possessions to whatever person, alien, animal, or natural phenomenon what kills me. Said possessions include but not limited to Ace of Spades, any and all stashes I've hidden throughout the system, the Colonel, my favourite flood, Faithful Friend, my debts which follow. Hash file, it's too big to download. Fuck, I'm gonna eat it for
How did you not watch that Crucible match?
eat it for malfeasance, because I really do like malfeasance. And
I guess I'll take care of it.
let's go talk to Amanda. Get a better view of Warlock's face. It's not what I'm used to, but it will get better, you know?
Heck of a day.
Sean, you're running a Siren City. He's good people, but a bit of a nut when it comes to efficient process. Delegate might be one of his favourite words. Anyhow, this data is great. I've been trying to fix up an old family heirloom for a while, and this will calibrate the tooling. Only she found something wanted to a side. I have the tossing wrench in one hand. I'm going to need some time to crunch these numbers. Come back around in a bit, and I'll have something for you. Good timing. Ran into, pardon me. Come on. Yep. Ran into a snag. I need more info on performance in extreme temperatures to get the metal tampering right. She flicks the wrench into the air, catches it as it whirls back down and slides it into a belt loop. I hear Guardians are heading out to Europa right now. Might be a good spot to generate some data below freezing points. How about it? You gonna help me see this through?
Don't die angry, warlock.
You got it. But for now, folks, I am going to end things off here because I want to go to bed. I'm still in pain, but it's not as bad as it was earlier, but it's still kind of bad, so... So yeah, thank you for watching everybody. It is very much appreciated. I do hope that you enjoyed. I hope you like my spooky appropriate end screen. I had to update a bunch of my end screens, which means new screenshots for all. I thought OBS just crashed, so I was about to start crying. So yeah, take care everybody. I will be streaming Destiny 2 More Beyond Light tomorrow. I don't know when exactly, so please follow me on Twitter at MochiStreams or join my Discord. The link will appear in chat in just a hot second. Or it will if I can remember where I put them. Hopefully, there we go. I'll post in Discord once I'm ready to start streaming. So that'll be tomorrow, Wednesday. Thursday at 8 o'clock Pacific. I'm not going to be streaming Beyond Light, instead I'm going to be continuing on with Higurashi When They Cry, where we are going to be seeing what happens next in the world of Rika. Thursday at some point in the evening will be more Beyond Light. Saturday, 5 o'clock Pacific, will be Nier Automata. We'll be continuing our adventure in Week B. Sunday will be Destiny 2 Beyond Light. Whether or not I stream on Monday, I don't know. And same with next Tuesday. The plan basically is to, Thursdays and Saturdays accepted, to stream Destiny every night until like the main body of the story is done. And then with the other stuff, so like the Lost Sectors, the exploring Europa,